We will give it a few more minutes. I'm waiting to see if member Caravan is going to be joining us. Don't see her yet. All right. Well, so that we respect everyone's time and keep this meeting to hopefully an hour, we'll go ahead and get started. So if anyone would like to facilitate the meeting, I would greatly appreciate it. So Leslie facilitated the last meeting. So I think that we should have somebody else do it.
I don't mind facilitating, but you'll have to make sure that I follow all of Robert's rules.
No problem. That's what I'm here for.
So then I think we'll call this meeting of the CAB Empowerment Committee to order. Can I get a second? Do I need one?
No, you don't need a second.
Oh, damn.
That's okay.
I'll second anyway.
No worries.
I don't remember receiving, oh, here it is. I'm sorry, an agenda. So, no, actually, did we get agendas? I know there was a call for items on the agenda.
Sorry, did I not send that out to you guys? Sorry if I didn't. I will send it to you right now.
Maybe we'll postpone the review of the minutes.
No, we don't have any. Hang on. I'm just going to send this to you guys right now, and then we'll start over.
And we need to motion to approve the agenda, correct?
Nope.
Okay,
Nope.
just the minutes, and there's no minutes, so.
Yep. Keith.
The next item on the agenda is for public comments.
Yeah, but we have to do a roll call. So just give me a minute. Oh, I need to add Vince. Herber. Agenda. And
Is this being emailed to us?
Yeah.
All right.
There it is.
If everybody could take a moment.
On its way to you right now. Sorry about that. You can also look up the agenda anytime at on Legistar. Oh, look at that, Member Roberts. The legislative calendar. He posted the link to it in the chat. Thank you.
Correct. Okay, so should we start over?
No, you already called the meeting to order, so the next one will be roll call.
Okay. Member Devine.
Here.
Member Roberts.
Here.
Member Harper.
Here.
Co-Vice Chair Graves.
Here.
And Member Ocaña is here. I think that's it, right? Is Madeline?
Yeah, Madeline is our Zoom host. We are missing member Carabin and member Chaparro, who he will not be here. I know that for sure. But hopefully member Carabin will be able to join us.
Okay, so moving along, public comments. Are there any public comments?
There are no hands raised for public comment at this time.
Fabulous. Moving on to scheduled items, section number 3.1, review of the citizen guidebook requirements.
Okay. So I wanted to, hold on, sorry. I just wanted to briefly cover this. So the City Council adopted officially yesterday the Open Government Ordinance, which has been in the works since 2016. So it's super exciting that they got to that. One of the components of the ordinance is a citizen guidebook. And I wanted to bring it to you today because it actually aligns with the videos that we've been talking about, as well as the Citizen Engagement Academy. And so just real briefly, this won't take much time. The components of the guidebook that are outlined in the ordinance are that community engagement in the city's clerk's office is to put together a citizen's guidebook to help the public understand the following: public participation, including public comment at city council meetings, city government structure, organization, and responsibilities, government terms and definitions, how to make a public records request, and a general category of records kept and maintained by the city. So per the ordinance, this has to get done. Good news is I just actually had a conversation with Magali before coming in here. One of the things that we are working on is bringing a college intern on board. We haven't quite worked out the job description. However, we're looking for either an undergraduate or a graduate student in the world of communications. This intern will actually be responsible for the putting together all of the information into the citizen guidebook, but also once you guys have split up the topics and created the content for the video, that person will actually be responsible for creating the actual video. So all we need from the subcommittee is to develop the content, like what's going to go in that video and the scripts. And then this intern will actually take all of that and create the videos for us. And the other thing that person will do is website updates. And then hopefully if they have time, they will take over some of my stuff like social media writing and city connections articles that we have to do. But that's a hope of mine. Probably won't happen because they'll already have a lot on their plate. So I just wanted to bring that update to you guys because it aligns with the videos that you're doing. And also we're going to be getting some help with creating the videos. So I will stop it there and take questions if you have them, or we can just move right on into the next agenda item.
So
Cecile's here.
Yeah, so just to add to the record that member Carabin is present. And please go ahead with your comments. Member Carabin, you're on mute.
I just missed some of the list of what will be in the guidebook. So I got public participation, city government, government terms and definitions, how to make a public records request, and then the last one as well.
Yes. So what the ordinance outlines is that the community engagement office and the city clerk's office is going to be responsible for putting together this guidebook.
Yeah, I heard that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that includes, and what's outlined in the ordinance is public participation, including public comment, city government structure, organization and responsibilities,
Okay.
government terms and definitions, how to make a public records request, And then under public records, just general category of records kept and maintained by the city. So that's all the ordinance is requiring. So go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's great. It sounds
Okay.
it's very useful.
Yeah.
Any other comments? Co-vice member Chair Greaves.
So would the video content that we're doing, we need to specifically incorporate this into our list and make sure that we cover it so that it can be part of the citizen guidebook? That we touched on these specific items, kind of, we did touch a little bit generally on them.
Yeah.
But we can go back and include these.
Yeah, I believe almost everything except for the public records pieces are on the list already.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then terms and definitions, I don't think that we specifically said that either.
No, and we don't have to make a video for that. It's just I wanted to let you know that the guidebook really aligns with these videos and will be a good supplement to them. And whatever content you create for the videos will most likely, rather than reinventing the wheel, just take that content and place it into the guidebook. That'll be really helpful in this development. So
just to be clear, are we looking to make sure that we hit upon these topics in order to supplement the guidebook? Or I know that there's like the committee or task force for the open government aspect of this.
Yeah.
So are they tasked with this too?
no, community engagement and the city clerk's office are being tasked with creating the guidebook. And so it's up to us on how we want to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions? Seeing none, I have a few, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Since I'm brand new on here, and I just want to make sure I understand what these videos are. It doesn't sound like it's going to be us in front of a camera explaining how to do things. It's like more of a city-sponsored kind of professional video with, you know, I'm sure unpaid actors or with PowerPoints or things like that. I'm probably totally off. Please don't tell me that you're asking us to do the video.
So I'll answer that really quick. We don't have money to pay actors to do this, so we're looking for volunteers. You don't have to act. However, if you would like to be a part of the videos, we always appreciate the help. We also have youth from Latino service providers, so youth promotoras that we're partnering up with them. We were hoping to partner with them for the general plan update. However, it looks like there's been some, I don't know, it looks like they might not be used for that particular partnership. However, we still want to find a way to partner with them, and it might be that they help out with the acting in these videos. That could be one. And, you know, like I said, anyone's welcome to volunteer, but you don't have to be on video. So other CAB members who are not part of this subcommittee can also volunteer to act out. And in addition to that, I will say there are also pieces where we'll need voiceovers. So you don't necessarily show up on camera, you're just speaking. And I think that might be like the bulk of it. I don't think that you're actually going to be acting much out on camera. It's more of a voiceover. Then we'll have graphics, and then translation. So we will be doing these videos in Spanish as well. So I definitely need help with those.
Yeah, I can help with those.
Okay.
Could I ask just two more questions and I'll pass it over to Member Divine? My second one is
And here,
Yeah, we can't hear you for some reason. I'm not sure why.
we can hear you very faintly.
can you hear me now?
Little bit, no.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me? No?
We can hear you. You sound like Minnie Mouse.
You sound like you're far away. Okay, that sounds good. Member Devine, did you have a question?
I just had a comment that Michael Bauer actually has a nonprofit media production
Mm-hmm.
school called ARTA, and with students that are interested in media production and probably could be helpful in this project as well.
Okay. Yeah, we could definitely reach out to them, being mindful too that's the other part about the student piece of it is we'll have to figure out how to get their help by not putting them together, if that makes sense right now. Like we want to make sure that we're all safe. But you know, if they have like equipment and things like that that students have access to that they can use, that would be like really helpful too. So that's a good suggestion. Thank you. All right. Oh no.
Oh, that was you, Danielle.
Yeah. Okay, so let me write this down. Arta. Okay,
So I do have another question.
sure. Go ahead.
As soon as Jackie comes back, I'll stop. But so was it clear that that equipment that they had originally, that they were trying to find out how they were going to lend it out, and they had some pretty high-end camera equipment, was my understanding.
Are you
Is
talking
that
about
off the
IT?
table? Sorry?
Are you talking about IT or are you talking about who?
I'm talking about whoever was putting the channel together. The city had a cable channel, and they came and presented to the cab and said, "We've got all these cameras and things."
That's through IT, our IT department.
Okay. Yes.
However, we may, because community engagement is going to start to try to do more of these interactive type activities like creating videos, etc. So the city also has PEG funds, public education and government funds. And so we're looking at for our department using those funds to purchase some of our own equipment as well.
Okay.
So yeah.
And they were gearing it towards youth. I
Right.
remember. So
and the person who was running that left, so I don't know where it's at right now.
okay.
Yeah. Okay, so Member Okonya is back. Would you like to test out and see if your audio is working?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Can I ask this? I don't know am I the only person that when your internet fluctuates, your like the microphone goes out?
No.
Oh.
Usually what happens if your internet is spotty, it's hard with boards like this because we want you to be on camera, but when your internet's not working very well, your audio will go out if your camera is on. So it's better to turn your camera off and then use audio. But like I said, we have to have you on camera. So
Okay.
I know.
Can I just ask the only other question I had was how are we going to provide the handbooks to the community? Is that just like a link that's a PDF on the webpage?
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll be an electronic document. And then if anybody wants to request a copy, we can just print it out for them.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the thing is, it can be kind of pricey unless we get a request like from the subcommittee or the city council itself saying we want some hard copies available. Like once we start meeting in person again, we want like some copies available in council chambers, then we'll look into doing that. But we try to make everything electronic to save.
So yeah, you know what would be super cool is to have a QR code on the front of the chamber doors so that somebody can just come up, like, you know, the restaurants now, right?
Yeah.
You just take a picture and it shows you the menu. you should be able to just take your camera and take that QR code, and then all of a sudden a PDF of, you know, these FAQs shows up. Or you could do the QR code online. And then what I would also suggest, just because we have a lot of older folks in this community, is seeing if we couldn't seek out a budget to do a very small pamphlet, something that's only, you know, like this, that you could almost like those little Mormon Bibles that they give out, something like that, so that you could just pick one up at council chambers when you're there. And of course, this is all in person, but even if we had a QR code during city council, like right, you know, in the, you know how we were going to do the advertisement and kind of do the stories about community members, you could put the QR code up and all you'd have to do is go up to your television and take a picture of it.
Okay, good idea.
So that was all mine. So are there any other questions on items 3.1, review citizen guidebook requirements?
No, great ideas. Thank you.
Yeah. Do we need to ask for public comment on this specific one, or do we move on? Okay. So are there any public comments?
There are no hands raised for public comment.
Fabulous. So moving on to section 3.2, next steps for Civic 101 videos.
All right. So I think this particular piece was taking those topics and kind of assigning areas to, or topics to each member here tonight to start to tackle, like to put the content together. Let me pull up the list here real quick. I'm gonna grab it. I swear I should have been more prepared.
Don't worry. Is that something you could put in the chat so we could?
Yeah, I'll do that. Well, I don't know about putting it into the chat. I might have to just share my screen.
Oh yeah.
Let me just get it really quickly. So this is also the difficulty of working from a laptop and then having to sign on to a
Server.
VPN. As I can access my files, but then it doesn't show up on my desktop. Let's see.
And you probably can't Zoom from your VPN.
I can't.
Either.
No, it doesn't work. I've tried it and it just doesn't work for me. And actually I was told that it just doesn't work out very well when you try to do that. So,
well, if you can't and you wanted to just read them off, I could type them into the chat so everybody could see them.
There's a lot. So I'm just going to pull them up here really quick.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then I'm going to share my screen. So duplicate. How many steps? All right. Madeline, can you enable it so I can share my screen, please?
You are all set.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Can everyone see it?
Mhm.
Perfect. Okay. So we broke it up into, I think, 3 categories. One is City of Santa Rosa / local government organization. The second one is city council and boards. And then the third one is the community engagement and advocacy. And then just as a reminder, we did have a second tier, which is for inclusion in the Civic Engagement Academy. So we won't necessarily be creating videos out of these, but it's just something to keep in mind for later. But let's go back up here and we'll start with the local government organization. So we have City of Santa Rosa history and basic information, such as office address, hours, etc., including like who is the city manager, city attorney, city clerk, what is the city charter, our sister cities. I'm not sure if we really want to cover sister cities in these. I think that's additional information that might confuse people, but I mean, that's just my opinion. We can talk about that. difference between city and county government. How do I engage with and contact city staff? How does the city decide on which projects to implement? How do I make a public, oh, it is in here. How do I make a public records request? How are city policies created? And then resources such as websites, social media, etc. And then overview of city services. So it's a lot. And I don't think that just one person has to take on this entire thing. It can be split up for sure. So let's just start there. And does anyone want to take any piece in here?
I have a question.
Yeah.
How long are these videos?
You know, I think we want to make sure that they are attention grabbing with enough information in there to be informative. So we're not going to be able to fit all of this into one because that would just lose everybody. I think we can merge some of these together to make one video. But I definitely would recommend splitting this up.
Are we thinking, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just want to say something about the sister cities. The only reason I could see that being important is because I work for people who are usually all over the country, and they don't know that like Katati is right close to me or whatever. So it's important for them as far as hiring and locating new staff and directing their business out here. So if we wanted more business out here, like they didn't know, for instance, that Katati was so close. It's just little things like that. I don't know. That's the only reason I could think of to include it. I'm just bringing that up because there's a reason that. Thank you.
Then for Divine, that's really good clarification because I thought that that meant our sister cities like Jeju, not here in Sonoma County, but those that are in other parts of the world. So
you align with who we align with, or
yeah, I think there might be we need to make a distinction between like the cities in Sonoma County that we are close to and these international sister cities, which is something different.
That's why I was a little confused on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeju is a sister city though.
Yeah. Do we have other sister cities aside from Jeju?
I think there's one in Mexico and maybe another one.
Yeah, it would be good to know too. And also, it's kind of interesting and intriguing, like in terms of business connections. Since Danielle brought that up, it had nothing to do with where it.
I'm sorry, I know.
No, that's okay. It's a good distinction to make.
It is. I think that actually might be more valuable for the videos to take that approach rather than focus on the international. I mean, the international sister cities are very interesting and there's a lot of information I think that could be shared. But for the purposes of these videos, maybe sticking locally might make more sense.
I wonder if we couldn't do like maybe we could just brainstorm right here about how we explain that Santa Rosa is really like the county seat and our proximity to all of these other towns that are actually really well known. I mean, Sonoma, Healdsburg, Katati, Petaluma, all these cities have significance in the rest of the state and nationally. And to really, a lot of people know where Healdsburg and Petaluma are, but have never heard of Santa Rosa.
Yeah.
I would say that some of that is the history of the city of Santa Rosa. So when we talk about the history of Santa Rosa and it becoming the seat of the county, then you do start to talk about the other cities of Sonoma County as well, since there was such a rivalry there to be the city seat, whether that was going to be Petaluma, Sonoma, or Santa Rosa, and hard fought battle with that being the case. So, and then when it talks about, I think later on in tier 2, we were talking about having some information about why do we have a
Mayor, that
council that elects the mayor instead of the public electing the mayor? So then that would get into a little bit of the differences between the different types of city governments that are within Santa Rosa or within Sonoma County, and district-based versus at large. There's a lot to cover, I guess is my point. And so I would love to see our first tier really be our first tier and not dive too deep, because if you dive too deep, I think we're going to lose people. And because I see member Harper, I know you're raising 5 fingers right now, but really I know that you raise 3 fingers when we talk about time. You only want 3 minutes videos.
I just actually wanted to add.
Yeah, to start to get into too much. There's no way we're gonna, every single one of these lines is gonna be 3 minutes.
I just want to make a comment about this. And maybe I like the idea, but I'm not sure that sister cities and all that stuff, is this the right place for it? Because we're talking to our residents, right, with these videos, and then I'm thinking, usually we have a landing page on the website that talks about Sonoma County and the beautiful blah blah blah. So are we starting to lean into more of the kind of tourist, kind of special interests outside of what this body of videos is about? Just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
If we wanted to narrow, kind of focus on very specifically, because there's a lot of content we could cover. Silence.
I think Keith.
Michael?
Yeah, I agree with Vince, but I was just going to volunteer to take the first stab at doing the script for this. I think we all know Santa Rosa pretty well. I did work for the city for 11 years, so I feel like I'm pretty comfortable with talking about the basics of it, or determining what's important, and having the rest of this committee review it for revisions.
Okay. So this first bullet point here, then.
Oh, I guess I thought it was this whole thing was the video.
No, I don't think that we can fit everything into one video and make it like, interesting. I'm concerned because this is a lot of information. I'm just concerned about people sticking around to watch the whole thing. We might have to break it up into several videos to keep people's attention. So maybe what it is that there's certain bullet points here that fit into this first one, like how do I engage with and contact city staff might fit into there. An overview of city services, for example. I don't know, any thoughts on that from the rest of the group? Cecile?
I just, I'm super impressed that Keith is like ready to kind of dig in and do it. So I'm almost saying, if Keith, you think that you can incorporate, were you thinking you would incorporate all of these into your first stab, or were you going to kind of pick and choose your focus as you went along?
So I was going to start to develop it, and I think working through it, then it would help me decide what can be included in the first one, how long it will take.
Okay.
I don't think we can decide right now without further developing, and I don't want to cause death by committee by trying to have several opinions. I just wanted to start moving, and then what I feel like works, I would just present to you guys.
Okay.
Volunteer to work with Keith on the first bucket.
You will?
Yeah, I volunteer.
Okay.
And yeah, maybe Vince and I can come up with 2 videos for this whole thing, or 3, whatever. But I feel like if we're assigned this whole section, then we can decide what wouldn't go in there, and then other people can work on the city council and boards and the other buckets.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the idea of maybe coming back once you have a better, like not fully baked, but the ingredients kind of together and sharing it. And people can choose other things if they want. But I keep trying to scroll down. Can you look? Can you just show me?
Yeah.
I think I have this somewhere, but like I so would love to do the community advocacy engagement piece,
Okay.
or with anybody else, or I would, try to develop something.
Let's see. There's also, oh, I can't see everybody. Sorry. I'm trying to, there we go. I'm trying to figure out how I can see everybody here. There we go. Now I can see you all.
Danielle's trying to.
Member Divine has her hand raised.
I have just 2 questions. One is why are we named after, are we named after Peruvian saint? And I was wondering what the history on that is, and if that was part of how we got our name. And then and I was interested in the records part of it. I was thinking maybe like, I don't know if they're going to do the whole top, but anything investigative, like that would help break it down, like either the how to do like public records, or like what the different departments are. I would be really willing to take those sections.
Okay. I can add you here with Keith and Vince if the 3 of you want to work on that together.
I mean, I think they have it covered. I was trying to cover like more ground, like just something that was not being taken yet. Like our worker Cecile, she doesn't have anybody working with her. Not that I don't want to work with Keith and Vince. I'm just saying that I was trying to, get more done.
Yeah, we'll put you down here with Cecile on the community engagement and advocacy, and then Leslie and Jackie, if you guys would like to take the city council and boards, that would be amazing.
Yeah, that's fine. Leslie, are you into that?
Yeah, completely.
Great.
Okay. And I'll talk to member Chaparro later, and we'll fit him in somewhere because he has to do some of the work too. All right. That was fun.
Can I ask a quick question? What are you expecting to receive from us? Would you like a very rudimentary PowerPoint with like just topic heads, and kind of like if we say, how do I make a records request? Then we have like a little 100-word instructions on how to do that. And then we're going to let the intern put the video together.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a PowerPoint, just like a document.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically just that information, like, how do I make a public records request? And then fill in the blank. But, I would put it more, and the intern can help out with this too, but like almost like you're developing a script. So it's like exciting. I mean, public records requests are really exciting, you guys. But, just try to make it like easy to understand. So that's one. I think that's really important. Like, we don't want to use any language that, like government speak or whatever. We want to make it in plain terms so that everyone can understand, or layman's terms so everyone can understand. So that's one. And I even think that like, you don't even have to necessarily write a full paragraph, like just bullet points. So, almost like talking points. I think that's the best way to describe it. Talking points are probably the best way to go about this.
So I concur with that. Just as I was listening to you kind of go over that. Writing a script and for multiple videos, it would be really ideal in some of the work that I've done, that the speaker's voice is consistent throughout. So if we're all really making a script, it'll probably have to get reworked anyway in order for that sound of that voice to come across that way. And it also, writing a script is hard because you have to think about how a person reads, whether it's a voiceover or being acted out or whichever. So those talking points would be really great. And whether it's PowerPoint or a document or whatever else, even Scribble, It's just, having like that basis of that information. And then if it's too deep of a dive, then that, like, us as a group or the intern or the staff can, pull it back from that.
So we're going to do talking points. And then understandable language. And you guys will see, I tried to do that. So our agenda for the CAB meeting next week, we have a couple of items on there, and one being I'm going to provide just a very basic overview of the ordinance. Because, I mean, you can read the ordinance if you want, but it's even for myself, there's a lot of language in there that I'm like, what are they talking about? So I tried to make it so that it's understandable. It's a very like high level but brief overview of just like, this is what we are trying to accomplish in this ordinance. So I think with these talking points, just remember to make it easy for the general public to understand. That's the kind of the biggest thing that came out of the open government recommendations too, is in order for people to participate, they need to understand exactly what it is that we're doing. And government doesn't always do that the best way. So that's I guess the more simple, more understandable, the better. Sound good? Cool.
Do we continue on with questions, or shall we ask for public comment on this section?
I just have one other thing because we're talking about next steps. So everyone has their section they're going to work on. And what I want to know now is for the next meeting, what is it that the group wants to either bring? I mean, I want to be mindful of, we have the holidays coming up. And then this is a lot of content to go through, or a lot of different topics to go through. So what is it that you feel comfortable bringing to the next meeting, or what is it that you want to discuss at the next meeting?
I think we should have a first draft of a rough script, at least, just to have everyone else weigh in.
Okay.
I also think, when is the next meeting, by the way?
The second Monday, which would be January 13th.
Okay, because I almost want, I guess we would have to have something almost ready, right, to show. But I'm almost thinking like some of the other CAB members might want to join in with, some of the developing the ideas. But I like to be more inclusive than not, but I'm happy just to do it.
So that's a great idea. There is a spot on the agenda for this month's CAB meeting to give an update. So during the update, if you want to invite other CAB members, just remember that you can't have more than 7 people in a group, although I don't think that'll happen. No. But definitely put that call out during the meeting. That way others can participate if they'd like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good idea.
It seems like, Member Caravan, that the section that you and Member Devine are doing would lend itself well to having more input potentially. But yeah, the first two sections that Member Harper and Member Roberts and that we're doing, it's just kind of basic information, not necessarily, how do you become a leader? Seems like it has a little bit more subjective information. So, and also it is the holidays. I really want to respect people's time and the fact that all the other members are on another subcommittee doing other work.
I wouldn't ever, like, try to coerce somebody to do this. I'm more about just opening it up, but I hear you.
I'll do this video.
Exactly. I'm not sure we get anywhere anyway doing
Yeah,
that.
I agree. Just to kind of put a little 2 cents in, it is the holidays. I, for one, am extremely busy at my job. Fortunately, I'm on the one where I can just, it's like word definitions, but I think just to have a little bit of flexibility in the drafts that will be presented next month, so that maybe we can put more of our, expect more of our effort in January. It's just from my perspective.
Okay.
Okay, so that sounds great. Do we have, shall we request public comment? Are there any public comments?
There are no public comments.
So at this point, we are closing into section 4, which is adjournment.
Wow, guys. It's awesome. Thank you for being so efficient this month.
Before we end, there was something that I wanted to mention during our meeting, and that's that was just the West End underpass.
Mm-hmm.
That was just, there was notices to vacate recently, and with that came one of my friends, the Shady Oak Barrel. Their storefronts were smashed. And,
yeah, I got your email about that.
Yeah, so people are just, storefront owners are scared and worried that they're going to face further damages, and we're wondering how maybe we can work with them, because these people are getting upset, and it's our storefronts that they're seeing, and they're thinking that we're making money, but really we're really not. I mean, we're all one incident away from closure ourselves.
Yeah, so I am going to forward the email that you sent me to the captain who oversees the beats, the beat officers, and the management for that. And then also connect with our homeless services team, because I think that's what you're talking about, right? Is a notice to vacate an encampment is what you're talking about? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd like to just loop them in so that they know what's going on. And then I can reach out to you offline and update.
Yeah. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate your help on that.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Okay. Well, if there is no other comment from the board, I will move to adjourn our meeting. Can I get a second?
Second.
Great.
All right.
Member Devine seconds. And that is it. So we will see you all at the CAB meeting, which is on the, are we meeting on the 23rd?
No, it's the 16th, so next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
we don't do the week of Christmas, and I'll be off anyway, so.
Oh, good.
I know, I'm being forced to take time off.
That's good. That's good.
I like that kind of supervisor.
I know. She's like, you need to take time off this month, and that's an order. I'm like, fine. Okay, fine.
Well, I wish everybody a very happy week and nice weekend, and we'll see you all next week.
Thank you. See you next week.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.